Hi everyone. My name is Jerry Wise, and this video is about narcissistic families and why nobody believes the scapegoat, and what are some things you can do about that. I've been working with clients and folks for 40 to 45 years, helping them explore and getting out of them their dysfunctional and narcissistic families of origin, so that they can be their true selves and not the self based on the narcissistic family. So, why does nobody believe the scapegoat? Let me share with you some things that might give you some understanding of that. Number one, character assassination. Scapegoats, empaths, and truth tellers often face character attacks. Again, your motives are wrong, you're not stable, you don't have good integrity, you've messed up, you've made mistakes. So, how can we believe you? Secondly, a protection of the status quo. They will protect the status quo to keep it just as it is, with you as the scapegoat and them as the in crowd and you as the out crowd, to maintain that status quo. Then, of course, they don't have to look at their own issues, as long as they keep that system in place. Thirdly, cognitive dissonance. One of the reasons why no one will believe the scapegoat, because the scapegoat is sharing things that go against the family's malignant normalcy, that go against the family beliefs and what is normal in the family that's actually toxic normalcy in the family. And so we have to shut that down because it's just too painful and too difficult to consider that. Because if I consider the views of the scapegoat, that starts leading me down the path of reconsidering other views I have and other beliefs. And so they don't wish to do that. A good phrase for cognitive dissonance is, don't confuse me with the facts. These are my beliefs, and don't confuse me with the facts. That's someone who cannot handle cognitive dissonance and will therefore not believe the scapegoat and tell everybody else the scapegoat is wrong. Fourthly, the family super self. The family super self, which is a self that everyone partakes of as you're growing up in a family. We have these intergenerational selves that we partake of. You can think of it as group think, group feel, malignant normalcy, however you want to think about that, but it's that programmed way of thinking, feeling, behaving. And it's that family super self that is present that makes the scapegoat not fit. So you cannot believe the scapegoat because they're not carrying the party line. They're not telling the party line. Number 5, fear of repercussions. Acknowledging the truth or validity of a scapegoat's or empath's claims can imply the need for action, which might include confronting uncomfortable truths or challenging powerful figures, leading to potential social or professional repercussions. So we fear those repercussions. So scapegoat, you just need to shut up and sit down, because we can't accept those claims, because if we did, that's going to shake the system, and I'm not sure I want to be punished by the higher ups or those in more authority or parents or whatever. 6, manipulation of information. In some cases, the flow of information is controlled or manipulated to discredit the scapegoat or the truth teller. By altering or withholding information, influential individuals or groups can shape perceptions to align with their interests. And again, information is power. Information is currency in a narcissistic family. And that can be manipulated in a way to encourage people to not believe the scapegoat. Number 7, normalization of mistreatment. If abusive or dysfunctional behavior is normalized within a setting or a family, those who call it out as being abnormal can be seen as being reactive, overly reactive, or misinterpreting what was going on and misinterpret what others consider to be normal or acceptable. Well, I know your dad last night came home from work. He was intoxicated or in a narcissistic rage. He beat all the kids. And then the next morning going, well, your dad's having a hard time at work. And again, it's a normalization of mistreatment because you can't accept the scapegoat saying, I don't think it's right that dad does that. And that is rejected. And the scapegoat will be scapegoated for even coming across as a truth teller in that respect. Number 8, a lack of supportive evidence. I think it's a little less frequent, but I think it happens often. The claims made by scapegoats or empaths involve subtle or covert forms of manipulation and abuse that don't leave a concrete evidence or clear footprints. And this absence of clear, tangible proof can make their claims easy to question or ignore. Again, we have a lack of a smoking gun. Most families will have a person laying on the floor, metaphorically, in an analogy, person laying on the floor, shot. The gun is in somebody's hand and it's smoking. And they will say, well, we know they didn't shoot them, the person holding the gun. Because we didn't see the bullet come out. We didn't see the bullet hit the person. So they probably didn't do it. And that's that lack of supportive evidence. And again, scapegoats and empaths have to make their argument always as beyond a reasonable doubt. They always have to have the highest bar that they have to reach to be believed. And then if they even reach that bar, they still won't be believed. So what can we do? Focus on building a self. We even have to stop it being based on what others think. I don't think it's important that what others think is who you are. I think if you allow that to become too important to you, it's going to be problematic. Stop basing who you are on what they think, even if you are a scapegoat. Number 2, focus on believing in yourself, even if others don't. And again, if they go, oh, well, that never happened. No, Johnny never shot Mary. He's got the gun and it's smoking, but he never did that. You know good and well that Johnny shot Mary, in terms of this analogy of reality. And Johnny did shoot Mary. And I'm not going to change my view of that. I think that happens so often with either narcissists who are alcoholics or alcoholics who are not narcissists even, that, don't you think, mom's an alcoholic? And everybody's going, oh, no, she's not an alcoholic. And she has every symptom in the book of being an alcoholic. And you're supposed to believe that she's not. But she's having all kinds of difficulties and problems as a result of alcohol ingestion and alcohol use and overuse. Thirdly, don't try to change others. Stop wasting your time trying to get the family to believe you're not the scapegoat or to not treat you like a scapegoat. Focus on strengthening your emotional immune system. I don't care what you think. Well, let's use the example that everybody thinks mom is not an alcoholic, for example. And you know good and well she is. I mean, it's just so obvious, and it's been obvious for years. And in fact, she's even gone for an assessment and been told she's an alcoholic. But the rest of the family all go, no. She just works hard and she has a lot of stress and, and a lot of excuses. I don't have to change their view of it. I just have to hold on to my view of it. Well, I understand that's how you see it, but that's not how I see it. And as far as I know, it won't ever be different than how I see it. So we're going to have problems or difficulties. I understand that. But, I'm immune to your irrational way of seeing mom. I'm not going to be overtaken by that. Or if they say, I don't know why you always cause trouble in the family. That's a scapegoat type of statement that you're always the one who's causing difficulties or you can't get along. I'm sure that's how you perceive it. because I've known you for a long time if I'm talking to family members. However, I have never, and I don't see it that way now. You're free to see it that way. I mean, they can still see me and as a scapegoat, but I'm not going to accept scapegoatism, and I'm going to behave in a way in which I am not a scapegoat. Now, they can twist and turn it any way they want, but I'm going to work on being more immune to that. And that's where detachment comes in. And again, why, if someone believes this stuff, do we continue to believe it? Because we've been programmed to believe it. So we want to unprogram ourselves about those beliefs. Change the scapegoat in you versus what they believe about you being the scapegoat. And I think that's very critical. I've got a program that can help you with that called The Road to Self. It's listed down in the description. I hope you will check it out. There are a couple books I would recommend for those who have experienced being a scapegoat. Rejected, Shamed, and Blamed: Help and Hope for Adults in the Family Scapegoat Role by Rebecca C. Mandeville. Excellent book. Another book by Jay Reid, R-E-I-D, Growing Up as the Scapegoat to Narcissistic Parents, A Guide to Healing. I would recommend those two for you. I hope you will subscribe, comment, and like this video. I want to thank you for joining me today. Have a great day and be wise.